If you thought bath salts were bad, you haven't heard of Flakka, aka gravel, chemically more dangerous than cocaine, but we're not talking about a plant. This is a synthetic drug that can alter your state of mind, raising excited delirium, body temperature, and literally losing their mind. Several overdoses have been happening in southern Florida with a string of sci-fi stories that likely result in death. Nick, this has been a street drug that literally, it's been crazy for the fact that you can get it for $5 in your local gas station. And a lot of people in southern Florida are using this as a recreational drug. But the problem is that after a high overdose, there's been many crazy stories of people having unbelievable strength like Hulk Hogan, like the Incredible Hulk.
Hogan?
Yeah, Hulk Hogan, just the same. I mean, a wrestler running around the streets naked, tearing off their clothes. There was the infamous zombie attack that happened where he would...
There's a lot of those.
There was the zombie attack, so that was with the bath salts, but now there's this new Flakka on, and it's basically the chemical that's in these bath salts is MDPV, which is literally, too, you can go to Bed Bath & Beyond now that you can't get in your gas station and buy these bath salts. And who would have ever thought to actually smoke these or inject these crystals and that it would cause a high? I mean, it's
somebody who's extremely bored and is lacking something in their life. It's unbelievable. I can't imagine why anybody would ever want to do these kinds of things. But also what's quite unbelievable is the fact that these things are legal and they'll ban one and then just like that, they'll have a new one that they've created. There's this guy in New Zealand, there was a Vice on it, on HBO, about this guy who lives in this huge mansion. He just creates, he has his own laboratory, and he's creating all these different kinds of synthetic drugs. It's the new thing. The more and more that we see crackdown on different kinds of drugs, how hard it is to get other drugs like heroin and this kind of thing, we see synthetic drugs being the new hot thing for people. It's scary because you don't know what the hell's in it. You don't know what it'll do to you. I can't even fathom why anybody would want to run down the street naked, screaming, or want to be like Hulk Hogan. I don't get it. I don't see the appeal in it. So for me, it's just completely ridiculous, this whole thing, but hey, it's just something that is just another product of this crazy drug war that's happening all over the world. You know, you can't get your hands on this kind of drug, so, oh, this is $2 at the gas station, why don't I smoke this?
Yeah, it's been imported by China that they're saying, and exactly, they're giving it to homeless people. A lot of people are being able to get a cheap way to get a high, and unfortunately, you're right. It comes down to synthetic drugs are dangerous, and this is not, you know, we have one thing on the war on drugs with plants, but when you're talking about people that are man-making chemicals that you have no idea what could happen, the overdose can be very easily, and with these side effects, but you also have to wonder, how are we going to, you know, cramp down on this with this drug when you can just change the name and literally change the color of it and put it back onto the street. So it makes
You can't do it easily. I mean, that goes for all drugs, not just the man-made synthesized drugs. That goes for every one of them. I mean, cocaine and heroin, yes, they're technically man-made as well, but we all know about those. I'm just referring to the synthetic ones. I mean, it's nothing that's going to be easy. It's nothing that's going to happen very soon. This war on drugs has been going on for decades. As long as things are, I mean, people are always going to want to get high. That's just something that you can't avoid. As long as these things are legal, you're going to see people smoking legal things that are definitely, in my opinion, Flakka is a bath salt. I don't think that is meant to be smoked, but they'll find a way to get high because that's just their nature. That's what they've come to in their life, and it's sad. But hey, I think it's going to be a problem for quite a long time, or at least as long as we see this war on drugs clearly not working. Yeah, and it makes sense, adverse reactions on a chemical. I mean, if you're utilizing things that are underneath your kitchen sink and using chemicals that could, you know, how are they going to affect the body? So it's common sense. So hopefully people would stay away from Flakka. We'd like to hear your comments below, and please remember to subscribe to Lip TV, and thank you for watching.